What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to episode 3 of 10 in the Pit. My name's T.H.E and today we're going to be going over the setup of what it should look like during your full 5-step or 4-step approach. I'm going to go over some front, side, and back views, so stay tuned and of course, let's get better today. Okay guys, before we head out on the lanes, there's just a couple things I want to go over with you. One, if you like this content, the tutorial videos or the tournament vlogs, make sure you hit subscribe and the bell icon to know when anytime 10 in the Pit comes out or any of my tournament vlogs come out. Also, make sure you like this video, throw some comments, and follow me on social media. Just type in my name, T.H.E. And when we take a look at these demonstrations, I want you to note that it doesn't need to exactly look like what I look like. I just am giving you some points to hit on during your practice. So let's hit the lanes and see what the setup should look like. Okay guys, welcome back to the bowling alley. We're going to start taking our steps back and I'm going to show you what the setup should look like on our full step approach, 4 or 5-step approach. So we're going to come back to the dots where we normally would stand up and we're going to get into the correct posture, because what we do back here on the setup is going to greatly affect what we do when we release the ball. Stay tuned. Okay, so first we just need to pick up a ball off the rack. Any ball is going to work, whatever your favorite is. And I'm going to come up to the line. So I'm going to step about 1.5 feet away from the dots, this first row of dots here. So I come back, I'm about here, and I'm going to put this foot back behind this foot, because I'm swinging the ball. I'm pretty far left on the lane, as you can notice. Lane's fairly dry, and I'm going to be swinging this. So I'm really trying to project the ball out to the right side. So my shoulders are open, and at this point, we want to stay open. We don't want to get closed towards the lane. We want to stay open so we can hit our target that's on the right side of the lane. So for the front view here, I'm going to roll the ball into my hand. It's me just under my shoulder here. Weight on the balls of my feet, knees bent, and I'm going to get my target. And this is what it should look like from the front view. Okay, so now we're going to kind of go over another front view of what it would look like maybe if we're playing a little further right. Maybe we're on a shorter pattern, we're planning to play the gutter, something to that extent. So when I'm further over the right, still staying back on the dots, 1.5 feet or so. But what I want you to take a look is what this foot does now. I'm going to bring it up. Okay, so that we're pretty level here. I'm still opening a little bit to my target, but we want this foot up so that we can keep our hips and our shoulders square. Now we're going to take a look up near my shoulders here, and now they're a lot more square to the lane. Okay, we're not opening up. We don't want to throw it this way because we're going to throw it across our body. We're going to be nice and square so we can project to our target that's directly in front of us and not to the right of us. Okay, so this is going to help get our arm swing in a good position. When we come up through 10 in the Pit, we'll talk about arm swing, push off, all of it. And this is what it should look like if we're playing straighter up the lane. Okay, so we're going to take a side view look at what we're doing here, because this is going to give us where I'm setting up the ball height-wise when we're doing our push away. So again, I'm pretty far left on the lane, as you could see it from the front view. I'm setting up the ball, rolling the ball from fingers to thumb, getting it nice and tight, and this is where I'm looking at. I want a good 90-degree angle here. We don't want to be too high. We also don't want to be too low. You'll see some pros get down here or get here, but usually they're getting to this spot at some point before they're pushing it away. So I like to just start here in this area before I push away, and this is what it should look like. All right, the shoulders open to a target. The shoulders definitely lower than this one, so we get a good shoulder spine tilt. We can rub the ball better, and this is where the ball is in our setup. So now we're going to take a look at what it should look like from behind, because this is where you can actually film yourself. You may not have someone to stand in front of you to really take a look and see what that looks like, but you're definitely going to be able to, maybe put a camera on a tripod or set it on the tables in the sitte area. So this is where you're going to be able to, show yourself if you have correct posture and setup at the line. So again, we'll pick up a ball, and I'm going to get lined up another 1.5 feet or so behind the first set of dots. This foot's behind this foot, because again, I'm pretty far left on the lane right now, hooking the ball. I'm rolling the ball up onto my fingers. Okay, weight on the balls of my feet, shoulders open to the target. I got a nice good shoulder lean here. we're dropping our shoulder. It makes it way easier to put revs on the ball when this shoulder gets nice and low. So you want to see the spine tilt. You want to see the ball hidden behind the shoulder between here, this part of my head, and this part of my shoulder. This is where we want the ball. Nice and level. And this is what it should look like from the back. Well, if we're not starting here, we're going to need to make some adjustments, because further on down the lane, when we actually take our shot, you'll see in the next coming up videos, when we go through timing, when we go through balance at the line, how this will affect that. So you'll want to stay tuned for those videos. Okay guys, welcome back. Couple things I do want to go over. I hope you enjoyed those demonstrations. We got to go really in depth in exactly what setup should look like. A couple things I just want to reiterate with you. One, again, this doesn't need to look exactly like what I look like while I'm up there on the lane. You can, whatever's comfortable for you, whatever you like, please do that. There's just a couple positions I want us to make sure that we're hitting. And those are, one, our spine tilt, getting this shoulder dropped, or this shoulder dropped between right-handed, left-handed. This is going to help us effectively rotate the ball without a whole lot of effort. We can get more revs on the ball once we drop this shoulder, so that's really important. Two is keeping our angles open. We want to make sure that we are projecting the ball. If we're getting left or right, depending on if you're lefty, we want to get our body open so we're not trying to push the ball out with our arm, because it's a really small muscle and it's going to be really hard to do that consistently. So use our body, open it up, square up to your target, not necessarily just the foul line, but to your target, and hit that. If we're playing straighter, like I mentioned, that's when you'll close up these shoulders. Still want to keep this down, but close them up so that we're projecting the ball straight in front of us. One is the ball position up and down. We don't want to get too high. We don't want to get too low. A good position here is really what we're looking for. So if you have any questions about any of those positions, don't be afraid, throw a comment down and I'd be happy to explain it. We're going to go into some more detail on the full 5-step approach and timing here in the next couple episodes of 10 in the Pit, so we can go and see why these things are so important. So I hope you like this video. Hit like, hit subscribe, and throw me some comments, and stay tuned for the next episode of 10 in the Pit.